We're here today at the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation, which is sponsoring this event. The title of the presentation is President Obama in Moscow, Prospects for Ukraine and the Region. My name is Orest Deychakiwsky, and I'm a policy advisor at the U.S. Helsinki Commission, or more formally known as the Commission on Security and Cooperation in Europe. And we're very, very pleased to have with us this morning two former U.S. ambassadors to Ukraine, Stephen Pifer and William Taylor. Ambassador Pifer was a Foreign Service officer with more than 25 years' experience, whose assignments included ambassador to Ukraine from 1998 to 2000, so just about a decade ago. And afterwards, he was Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Moldova. And now he's remained, since retiring, extremely involved with Ukraine and the region, and is currently a visiting fellow at the Brookings Institution, where he concentrates on Russia, Ukraine, and arms control. Ambassador William Taylor just concluded a long career in the U.S. government, which capped off as ambassador to Ukraine. He served for 3 years from 2006 to 2009 and returned just a little over a month ago. Now, his many assignments over his career included early on as an infantry officer in Vietnam and Germany. Later on, he was coordinator of U.S. government assistance to the former Soviet Union in Eastern Europe from 1992 to 2002. And more recently, he had assignments in Iraq, then Afghanistan as coordinator of U.S. government and international assistance there. Today's topic, obviously, is especially timely. Just a few hours ago, President Obama in Moscow met with Premier Putin. Now, whereas Ukraine and the other states in the region each have their own unique characteristics and specific challenges, they do share the common legacy of Soviet rule, and each, to varying degrees, whether the obvious case of Georgia or even Belarus these days, have what might be described as very complicated relations with the Russia that over the last few years has become more assertive and aggressive, some might say neo-imperialistic, in attempting to restore its influence in the region. Many observers contend that the Kremlin looks to this summit to help reestablish Russia's image as a great power. Now, the U.S., and more specifically the administration, on the other hand, has asserted that even though the U.S. is attempting to engage Russia, and there are many important issues which require engagement, whether it be START or Afghanistan or missile defense, that this is not being done at the expense of America's positive relations and longstanding support for the independence and sovereignty of Ukraine, the Baltic states, Georgia, Moldova, and other countries in the region. And I believe that Vice President Biden's upcoming trip in a few weeks to Ukraine and Georgia is meant to underscore and reiterate that point. But how these two differing and indeed competing visions play out over the upcoming months will have very important implications for Ukraine and the region. With that, first I'd like to ask that please silence your cell phones. And with that, I turn the floor over to Stephen Pifer, who will be our first presenter.